Every innovation first began with an idea. Welcome to Tech Founders Stories, where passion meets innovation. The platform where visionary founders share their inspiring journeys. From struggles to successes, they reveal the secrets behind their innovative ventures. Join us as we uncover the stories behind the startups that shape our world.
My name is Chika. I'm popularly known as Coded in the tech ecosystem. I'm the founder of Centadesk Global Services. Centadesk is a tech academy, and also we're into various tech businesses. We are also into sales of solar generators and the rest of that. I'm from Enugu State, Uji precisely. Initially, when I was growing up, I never had any passion for tech because during that time, probably let's say 2009, the whole tech stuff have not started, as it is now. So I wanted to be a civil engineer because that's the line my dad was in. So unfortunately, during my time of looking for admission, I find myself in computer engineering. I was forced to read computer engineering actually, which is not what I wanted to do. So in the course of reading computer engineering, I was like, maybe in my second year, I would change my career to something new. So unfortunately, I fell in love with computer engineering, and that's how my whole journey in tech started. So when I met some young guys that were actually doing some great thing in tech, so I fell in love with tech and I decided to be there. And that's how my whole journey started in the tech industry. I want to say big thanks to Digital Dreams ICT Academy. So when I was in my second year, they normally come around to the school to preach to us about going into tech. So but before then, there was this guy called Kase Mobieze. Kase was actually working with Digital Dreams then. He was the one that invented the popular A-Suite forum that went viral during that time. So that's how we got to know Kase when the whole A-Suite forum went viral. So we started looking for who built this A-Suite forum. So we found Kase. We told him that we are so much interested in what he was doing and we would like to learn or go into tech. So that's how we discussed with him. Then he agreed to start teaching us HTML. He started with HTML, then teaching us HTML in school. Then at a point he was so busy because he was working with Digital Dreams then. So he told us that we have to come to the office to learn if we actually needed to learn. Then during our industrial training, that's the IT period, so we came to Digital Dreams. So that's how our journey started in the whole tech industry. So after learning, networking, meeting new people, getting new ideas, I think Digital Dreams have done a lot of wonderful job. For me, I would say it's more like, when they say Africa is the land of expansion. So Digital Dreams have been a land of expansion for us, in the tech ecosystem. So this is where most of us started our career, with some of the hackathons going on, the programs they normally bring to us. So it opened our mind, to meeting people, collaborating with them, started betting this idea in us that we can actually do this. And that's how the whole journey started, and here we are. After my training with Digital Dreams, so I went for my NYSC. After my 1-year NYSC, I was invited to work for Digital Dreams. So I think that was when the whole thing started. I worked for a year and some months, even though before then I already had a mind to have my own academy. But I needed to work for somebody to actually get the idea, to know how it is to run an organization and a whole lot of that. The interesting thing that happened is that most of the people I founded the company with were my students in Digital Dreams then. That's where the whole thing started. There was one hackathon we had then, I think it's Startup South. So in that Startup South, what happened is that they merged us in 4 pairs to come up with an idea, like a startup idea that we want to build on. So when we did that, and after the event, the whole idea started coming in, then the fire for me to own my own firm. So then I started talking to people that would like to join me to start up something. I ran into 2 of my students who were then kind of financially okay to assist, because one of the challenges we have then was, raising funds. I did not want to go to start borrowing money from the bank and the rest. So I started talking to friends, then found 2 of them, they were interested. So we teamed up, started the company. So we gave ourselves, I think, 2 years vesting period, more like 2 years of trial. After that 2 years, they left, then I continued the company, and that's how the journey has been. Just like I said, majorly we're into edutech. We train young people. Aside from the other aspect of the business we run, which is selling of items online, like solar products and the rest, but majorly what Centadesk does is training, is an edutech. So we train young people who are aspiring to go into the tech ecosystem. So we train them on various tech skills. That's what we majorly do at Centadesk. For me, when I joined the whole edutech, I actually have passion for adding value to people, making a change in the society. It was not about the money initially, that actually attracted me to the edutech. So what attracted me was, adding value to people's life, being able to know that, okay, I was the reason this person is actually doing this. I was the reason why this person is becoming better in whatever he or she is doing. That has been one of my biggest motivation. And again, when it comes to our own academy, I think one thing about us is that we have this kind of family vibe in the academy. Once you join us, it's more like you are joining a family. You understand? It's not like you coming to learn and you are going. We carry you along till we make sure you get to where you are going. So that's why most of our students are working in various big organizations, both in and outside the country, because it's not about come and learn, and maybe when your duration for learning has expired, then we'll let you go. When you come to our academy, you find out that most of our old students still come there. They still use that place as their office space. Some still come, keep updating their knowledge until they find something better. So for us, it's more of the family vibe. So it's not about you coming to learn and go. So I think that's what we do, in a special way that differentiates us from the rest. When we were starting up, we were like 3 guys that came together to start the company. During when I was working with Digital Dream, we were actually saving up some money. And by then, I was also a web developer. So I was actually making some side money from my development jobs. I get contracts and all that. I think we actually know how much we needed to start up the whole place, the renting, the furnishing, all the equipment. So we went for market survey, actually know what the prices are. And we know, okay, this is social amount we need to get these things running. So, and we gave ourselves a period of 6 months to raise the money. So, person, you are supposed to bring so much amount. Okay, we are going to be sending this money into this particular bank. You understand? So it's more like the bank became a savings for us. So any money you get, you put some percentage there. So within that 6 months, we found out that we were able to contribute that same amount we needed. So that's how we were able to raise the funds. So we didn't actually go looking for somebody that would give us money. So we actually do it, even though it took us some time to be able to raise the amount we needed to, start up, get a space and the whole equipment we needed to run it. That was really how we did it, and it worked for us. It's been going well so far. Things are happening, and we intend to grow more, bigger, have branches, other places. Every business one venture into, there's 1 or 2 challenges. I think one of my biggest challenges was leaving my job. You understand? I don't know what I was going to face there. So when I was leaving, I had to meet the boss and tell him that, hey, I'm leaving. So even though he wasn't feeling too good about it, advised me that starting a business is not a child's play. You have to go through a lot. But I told him that it's better off that I tried. I went, left my job, started the whole company. It was very challenging at initial to get people to see what we are doing, because we needed people to come in and get trained for them to know that we are good. So it wasn't an easy one, because we have to trek. Sometimes we go to different universities, put flyers up and down, talk to people. And sometimes when you're done preaching, nobody shows up, you understand? So really, crazy. But with time, people started noticing us, noticing what we are doing. And with time, we started having an inflow of students coming to train with us. And we started having referrals of people giving testimony of, how well they were trained. And some of our students who started doing well, working in different organizations, referring their colleagues and friends to come to train with us. It's been like that, so we thank God we are still on track. You're leaving your place of work, which you know that every month there's something coming for you. And then you are now going somewhere. You don't even know what you are expecting at the end of the month. I think that was my biggest challenge. I even had to consult my friends, talk to people. Is this a good idea I'm taking? So for me, that was it, because I know already I'm out of the home. Like, I'm not staying with my parents anymore. So any mistake I do then is going to be on my head. So I already have an apartment, I'm staying alone, and I'm making such a decision. It wasn't funny initially, and even though that most of my savings have already gone into the starting up the business, so I didn't have much left to fall back at, even if something goes wrong. So that was one of my biggest challenge I had, but I thank God came through for us. When we started it didn't take us much time, we balanced up and started going smoothly. I'm a very jovial person, I'm very friendly. Wherever I am, I create this kind of environment that is very welcoming. Even when I was with Digital Dreams, that's one of the things the boss noticed about me, because when I started working with Digital Dreams, for the first few months I worked there, you see parents coming to say, I hope that it's Chris that will train my children, that kind of stuff. So I always try my best to make sure that anybody I'm working with, whether a colleague, whether a student, that you feel welcomed. We don't give this kind of vibe like I'm a boss, kind of bossy nature. No, we just be in a kind of situation that everybody can easily access you, talk to you. Maybe they have something that is giving them challenge. They can actually walk up to you and tell you that, hey, this is what I'm facing. They can call you at any moment they're having challenge. They can send you the screenshot of their errors in their program, so to help them correct. So I always make myself available for people, and also make environment conducive for people. So I think that has been one of my selling points so far, that has actually helped me and kept me in the game. The whole idea started when we went for Startup South. We were paired in groups to think about an idea, think about what we can create, an idea that can solve a real-life solution. After the hackathon, some people emerge winners and stuff, but for me, I went back and started reflecting on it, because the hackathon was over. People did whatever they did because of the hackathon. Now I'm not like, okay, how do we apply this in real life? How do we actually build a tech company, on real life, not because of the hackathon, which we know that is ending, and after ending, everybody goes their way. How do I unite this team back together again and start looking at how we can actually, establish something that will be real? So that was my starting point. So I started communicating with people, sharing my ideas. So the two people I talked to were my students, actually. We are friends already, even before the whole hackathon. I told them that this is what I'm thinking about, whether they will be interested in being part of what I'm thinking about. So they said, wow, it's cool, that they would love to be part of it. So that's how the whole discussion started. Then started talking about how we're going to get it done, what it's going to cost, what we are going to do. That was the whole starting point for me. I think I would have loved to work more for people. For me, sometimes it's not always good to just rush into things, you understand? Because for me, I felt like I knew all I needed to know before going into, because my work experience was just a year, and I felt like I needed to work more for various organizations, not only this. even to do other things like in the area of marketing and all that, because everything revolves around marketing. You know, you have a great business, it's revolves around marketing. So being able to get clients to walk in and walk out, so it's the success of every business, because every business is looking out to get customer. So I think if I'm to go back, I would have loved to go into the area of marketing, maybe work for a marketing team or thereabout, you know, get the idea, because I have to learn the hard way. I never had any marketing knowledge when I moved into the business. I learned the hard way. I needed to go out there myself, push it. It was very hard. If I know what I know now, then I think I would have preferred to go for a marketing, maybe work with a marketing team, you know, volunteer or probably do anything just to stay around the cycle, to know what it is like to, you know, go out there and get customers for your business. My family, they have always been supportive. The best they could do for you is to pray for you, you understand? So it's not as if something went wrong that I cannot go back and start eating there, or tell them that, Mommy, I want to eat, or stuff like that. And they will say, go, don't. So for me and my parents, I think it's always, are you sure you want to do this thing? Are you sure this is what your mind is asking you to do? I've not had much of the parents that were like, don't do this. My parents are always like, try this. Even my dad, when I was small, he said, go and drive, go and learn how to drive, you know, go and do this, go and do that. Even when he's in his own workplace, he always take me to go and work with him, you understand? He always want me to explore things, he always want me to do something new. So when I told them that I was leaving my job to do this thing, even though it was so early, because it's just a year and, you know, some few months I worked there, and I'm telling them I'm leaving already. They said, okay, if that's what I feel like is okay for me at the moment, that I should go and try it out and see how it's gonna be. My family, my mom, my dad is not more of the academic kind of people. They always tell you that, okay, follow other people or learn what they are doing, you understand? So one thing my dad did for me that was really, really awesome was getting me a laptop at that time. So as far back as 2009, you understand? So it was a big deal then. So we have few people that had laptop then. We are using more of this desktop. So I think that was it for me. Even the laptop, I kept it somewhere. Now maybe one day I'll go and put it in the museum. I say, oh, this is what my dad did for me, because that laptop really was everything for me at that moment. All the whole money, all the whole thing I did was through that laptop. You know, all the whole job I got was done on that laptop, and even the whole teaching, even when I was working with Digital Dreams, so that was a laptop I was using then. My dad gave me the whole support, my mom too. I'm really grateful for them. One thing I would say first is that life is all about grace. That's one thing we must know. That somebody is succeeding doesn't mean that it's better off. That somebody is succeeding and the other person is not succeeding doesn't mean the person succeeding is better off than the other person. So there are factors that determine somebody's success. It could be connection, it could be grace, it could be being in the right place at the right time. It could be that opportunity. And again, for the tech ecosystem, I think one needs to keep evolving. Some people just come in and they don't really network much. If you don't network much in the tech ecosystem and you're not the kind of person that prospects online, trying to reach out to people, or you are the kind of shy someone that doesn't show out what you have. I know somebody might be very good, but he doesn't know how to show out that I am good for the world to see him or her. That is where the whole issue comes in, because that you are good and nobody knows you are good. Nobody's going to offer you anything, you understand? It's until people discover that you are good at something, then they will now be able to say, okay, I think this guy can do this. Then some people are in this tech ecosystem, you know, they have not been to any hackathon, they have not been to any event. And even if they go there, they don't fancy networking with people or getting contacts or even meeting the organizers or trying to ask somebody, what are you doing? I also do this and do that. Or, you know, ask somebody that I'm looking for social opportunity. Even though that things are a little bit harder than it was during our own time, because there were much opportunities there, but now a lot of people are into tech. So people are, you know, actually fighting for available opportunities. So I think the major and the most important thing anybody will do for yourself is to prospect. Reach out to people, tell people what you do, network. Apart from that, I think the other one is grace. Because with grace now, somebody can just walk in here and just see you doing something on your laptop and say, God, what are you doing? And you say, I'm doing this. Say, can you do this job? And you say, yes. And the person just pick you up. And the next thing, you see yourself where you never imagined to be. Some other person might be sitting there because he doesn't have the grace. They will pass him by, don't forget. But apart from grace, I think people just need to show up what they have, because this world we are now, people are too busy. So if you don't put yourself out there, nobody will see you, because there's a lot of people doing what you are doing. So people need to see you and know that you are the best. And then they will now say, okay, let's go for the best. This guy is the best because we have seen that he's the best. I think at this moment, I'm looking at we expanding and adding more value to the society, exploring more other aspects, because we have been into EduTech for a couple of years now. We need to explore other aspects of the tech, probably maybe building product that can service people and the rest of that. I think I'm looking towards that. I also think of doing more of collaboration with people, because I think that will help scale one easier. So looking at how to collaborate with more founders or other tech companies to see how we can put in ideas to create something realistic or something really wonderful. So I think for me it's more of exploring more things in the tech ecosystem in general. For those aspiring to go into entrepreneurship, whether it's tech or any other thing, I think first thing first is whatever sector you are going into, just go and know more about it. Don't rush, because one of the things we found about most of the entrepreneurs in Nigeria, you understand, people rush into business without even having prior knowledge about the business they are going into. That's why you see businesses just close within few months or a year of starting, because they don't actually understand the market. And again, it's not every business you situate in certain areas. There are businesses that are better off in Enugu. There are businesses that are better off in other states. So when you bring a business that doesn't thrive well in a particular area, you find out that you might lose out. So I think people need to actually know more about the sector they are moving into, and most especially know how best to market whatever services or product they want to render to people. Because I think that's the major issue people normally have. Even the big companies are having the same issue. So don't assume that probably because you post something on your status, people are saying, whoa, how far, how much, wow, are you doing this business? That doesn't mean when you launch the business, they're going to patronize you. People might be showing interest in it just to find out that maybe this guy is doing this. So they're just asking you questions to find out that you have something you're doing already, not because they want to patronize you. So marketing is very key to the success of every business. So before going to any entrepreneurial business or whatever you want to do, be very mindful of the environment, know how best you're going to reach out to customer, your potential clients or customers and the rest of that. Know how best. And again, in the era we are now, you necessarily don't need an office space to get started for most businesses. Even in the EduTech, there are a lot of companies that do EduTech. They are basically online, doing the trainings and the rest. So you don't really need to go through the steps of hiring or renting a space before you can actually start up a business. You can start it online. People are online. Everybody's online these days. So your potential customers, they are online. If you need to reach out to them, just know the best way to target them, reach out to them. So money should not be a barrier for people starting up business. And again, people should think about collaboration. Just like I said earlier, when I wanted to start my company, I started looking out for people that I can work with and contributed money together. So it will ease you some of these burdens, you understand? Because when you try to do everything yourself, you are the marketer, you are the CEO, you are the producer, you are everything, you are even the content creator. you find out that easily you might just weigh out. When the pressure becomes too much, you might not be able to carry it. But when you have a team or you have people you are collaborating with, working with, you guys grow faster. Even though everybody wants to answer their surname, everybody wants to be the CEO, everyone wants to be the founder. But I think when you look at it in the other round, you find out that you'll be more successful when you collaborate with others than when you just alone doing this business. And even if at the long run something happens to you, find the business will just die off because you're the only person there doing the whole thing. So I think that's my little piece of advice for young entrepreneurs. So to connect with me, call my social media. I'm Chris Codehead, both on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, Chris Codehead. So with that, you can actually reach me.